Your return to CoinSuri's channel is greatly appreciated. Are we approaching the end of the world as we know it, guys? Regardless, the absolute minimum would be a black swan occurrence. Why? The most crucial signal that allowed us to see has just arrived, and that is why. Ripple Labs crypto billionaire has put his Miami property up for sale for $18.5 million. Just now, Ripple verified it. Got it. October 23, 2023 was the publication date. Hi there, everyone. Very nicely. Certainly, starting from October 19, 23911, very interesting. The Cryptocurrency Corporation, headed by CEO Brad Garlinghouse, has been involved in a legal battle with U.S. authorities for almost 10 years. Someone else's house, or Brad Garland's? Excuse me, I need clarification. Pardon me, but I have to quickly look that up. Here you may find the oceanfront property owned by crypto millionaire Brad Garland. Brad heads up Ripple Labs, a company based in California that produced the $18.5 million XRP cryptocurrency coin. Now, you can locate Mama Mimi's residence. The Garlinghouse purchased the estate for $16.7 million with that purpose in mind. The multi-billionaire Garlinghouse is basically one of the wealthiest names in the cryptocurrency sector. Federal regulators began cracking down on Bitcoin exchanges in 2018, and his company, Ripple Labs, has been in the spotlight lately owing to its legal dispute with them. In a landmark decision for the cryptocurrency markets, Ripple Labs prevailed over the SEC in court last summer, while other platforms, like Nance and Coinbase, were hit hard by further claims from regulators. The thing that fascinates me the most is his corporation spent an estimated $200 million, but $18.5 million on legal defense against SEC claims made it look like a trifle. Do you not find that intriguing? That is to say, supposedly, men. It is mentioned in this work of literature that the reason behind his Miami mansion selling is a major concern. Since we are dealing with Ripple, it appears that they are selling their own properties as if they are bracing for a real estate market collapse. Plus, here's more evidence that Apple and the Ripple team are conspiring. It would appear that Apple executives are selling off assets in anticipation of a real estate industry disaster. Got it. So, $45 million was the price tag for selling Aspen, an ex-employee of Apple. Aside from Ripple's CEO, even his estate is being sold. Its sales status is a mystery to me. However, isn't that interesting? Does it a proclamation of war, isn't it? To be honest, I don't have any more ideas. You know what? They're selling more than simply real estate, they're selling shares in their own company. Oh, please, what? Breaking the selling of $2 billion worth of Amazon shares marks Jeff Bezos' first major stock transaction since 2021. It is January of 2020. Exactly the same thing. Dear audience, the crux of the matter is that with the recent sale of 12 million shares in Amazon, Jeff Bezos and his associates have amassed a fortune of more than $2 billion. And that doesn't even account for sales in the future. Wait for more, dudes. As a result, he has already sold shares in Amazon valued over $2 million and has more on the way. More work awaits him. To our surprise, this man is just like the others. Federal regulators were informed by Jeff Bezos that he had sold more than 12 million shares of Amazon stock, totaling more than $2 billion, in a file with the government. Next stop, Amazon. An announcement was made by Amazon's executive chairman to the US SEC regarding the sale of 12 million shares of common stock on February 7 and 8. This occurred a few days ago, and I found it fascinating. As stated in its own filing with the SEC, the announcement that 50 million shares of Amazon would be sold was made by Bezos on or around February 7. This man is truly worth an estimated $8.4 billion. What is the next step? The practice of selling at the exact peak would constitute insider trading, which raises serious suspicions. Should every one of these chief executive officers or something very fishy must be going on when millionaires sell their stocks right before the crash. No one should be surprised when they start selling mail slowly just before the collapse. Look. It's being done by everyone, got it? Kindly exercise patience. Please, everyone, relax. Because I totally forgot to include it before, it is now here. You all seem to be missing the point, don't you? I heard that Jeff Bezos is unloading all of his Amazon shares. The markets did, in fact, go negative. This has happened before. Since history tends to repeat itself, his sales are through the roof. Maybe something will happen in the next months, around April or May. I don't know. If this is the standard by which you judge Jesus' return to the Father, then what cost was it? I apologize. At what time did they capture his image? On Saturday night, following the alfalfa dinner? Is dropping out of school in January 2020 more appealing to you than continuing? Oh, I was definitely sent. Envision yourself and Geraldine invited to a lavish celebration at Jeff Bezos' $23 million estate. Exactly, it took place around the tail end of January 2020. Hear me out, everyone. Her words are as follows. Got it. And JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon. All of them are present. The founder and CEO of JP Morgan Chase, Jamie Dimon, would not like it if you came out as easily swayed by outside forces. We really hope it isn't. What were you two discussing at the gathering? Oh, absolutely not. I didn't have anybody on my radar who you should have heard from. He remained silent in response to all of them. Stop doing it. Is everyone already aware? For the sake of money, then? What on earth? I sense a lack of trust from all of you. But hear me out, Jeff Bezos sold $3.4 billion worth of Amazon stock just before that crash happened. Stop doing it. My greetings to you clever people. Despite my long-standing knowledge that another major event will not occur until 2020, I am unable to discern whether the S&P 500 index, SPX, is at an all-time high on the weekly charts or the daily ones. Now we're clearly back at those levels when we were overbought. I need a moment to compose myself. Why hasn't it ended yet? Evidently, this indicator has been showing the relative strength index, RSI, for quite some time. For the time being, it was aware it could stay airborne. This suggests it might stay there for a while longer. Are you all seeing that? This, in addition to a bearish divergence. Is that so? I mean, those discrepancies aren't real, but they do show highs and lows very frequently, don't you agree? Extra bullish divergence for XRP has also formed. Would you concur? Based on the increasing signs on the weekly and 2-week charts, UPS is set for a massive surge to the upside if XOP can sustain its present level of 49 cents and continues beyond this month. All the signs point to something not happening, and the proof is piling up, guys. Without a doubt, it was taking place, but monetarily, it would mean a lot if you could hit the like button on today's video. From what I can tell, everyone is having a good time here. Hi there, everyone. Jamie Dimon claims that the most foretold disaster in history is a more predictable ACC. So, the bigwigs at Bank of America, what's your next move? Oh my, that is really absurd. Here, just look at it. The chief executive officer of the biggest American bank, Jamie Dimon, has said that this is the most expected catastrophe ever. It is not an urgent matter. Your nightmare will come true if and when it actually crashes. Very well, then. Got it. That one is the biggest one you have. Attractive people should be scared of. Very well, then. This week is crucial since the markets will show their future course either tomorrow or next week. Why? Major events taking place this week? This is the Consumer Price Index, CPI, inflation data for January, as announced on Tuesday. Out of all of them, one is absolutely vital. All. Got it. We will increase if, by some miracle, Tuesday's CPI inflation report figure is 2.2 point something, which, by all means, we hope it happens. We should continue our journey in that direction, since the black swan's arrival will be the trigger. Keeping it below 3% is my objective. If you are looking at a breathtaking sky, then yes, gentlemen, that is the one. Gentlemen, the sky is clear. Currently, the stock market is experiencing a crisis. We can only hope for the best. Why? We just got confirmation from Jim Cramer, so that's why. You may remember that he said the exact opposite before. Now he's acting as a contrarian indicator again, and he says that Jim Cramer forecasted a market correction. The event took place on January 16th. After that, I will be utterly unaware if he has changed his mind. That being said, it would appear that all stocks have been trending upwards as of late. Would you concur? The market's fate was likely already known to you at that point. Do you see that it has risen? On top of that, I'm crossing my fingers that nothing is going up and stays down. Would you concur? It won't just vanish, no matter how much time passes. Here we go, folks. This is the plan. What if, however, we are successful in raising CPI to 2.0 in the subsequent report? It would trigger a domino effect, wouldn't it? The Federal Reserve will influence you if you disregard their advice. Previous patterns indicate that interest rate cuts by the Federal Reserve will begin in March 2024. Would you concur? For the time being, the Federal Reserve thinks a rate cut is possible. Moreover, they expect market prices to go up because of this policy change. People in the market value it. Are rate cuts in the works for the March meeting, dudes? Might they change your mind? There will be a meteoric increase in the markets before to it. After they cut, everyone may anticipate seeing a small pump and dump. Would you concur? Fall in value, maybe in April or May, after which a black swan appears in the middle of the year. But my friends, we need to get ready for the CPI report, because the facts it contains will be monumental. The most recent rate hike occurred in July and will not occur until 2023. The Federal Reserve has a history of waiting 8 months following a rate hike before starting to decrease rates. It is expected that rate reductions would start on March 24th. I find it amusing that you're right when you consider the average over the past 5 years. If previous trends persist, our budget will be drastically cut in March. The probability of a rate cut having dropped to 19%, though, according to market indicators. Why? In other words, inflation increased. This next Tuesday is crucial, because a 2% drop in inflation would cause the cost of living to surge by 80%. It is true, my friends, the Federal Reserve will cut interest rates in March. I guarantee you, it will be perfect. Therefore, let's hope for the best and see what happens this week. You guys only have 2 more days to wait till we find out. In other cases, such in 1997 and 1969, it is obvious. I mean, rate cuts are just about a certainty, right? It took the Federal Reserve 18 months to act. It will be rather easy to see what occurs, you people. Besides Powell saying they won't be cutting in March, not much else has happened. But beforehand, were they cognizant of inflation? Would you concur? Do they realize the price will be higher? That being said, will it revolve around that, regarding 3 people in the 3% bracket? And if they really did tell it, it would be really beautiful. Because everyone involved comes out ahead, right? If the markets can maintain their recent gains for a while, I don't see why anyone would be against them. I don't understand why markets aren't more complex than pump and dump. I mean, like everyone, it was bound to happen. Keeping it would be perfect in that situation. Nevertheless, we ought to wait until March if we like to observe extraordinarily high costs. The 2 sides of the coin, nevertheless, start to show up after that. It may take up to 2 months after a caucus if success is on the horizon, but one already happened. The market will probably crash and burn because a black swan event will happen. Regardless of how horrible it is, the worst economic and market crisis since 1929 is about to happen. What brings you here? However, at first, bluff top, that is completely true. Over the next 10 to 12 years, our projection for the probable equity risk premium is currently lower than 90.29 and 99.9. What 1929 guys? Before the dot-com crash in the year 2000, bubble pop happened during the Great Depression. Those levels and below are where we are. No, my friends, it gets much worse than that. Yep, I couldn't agree more. It's the bomb. Oh my goodness! Literally the moment it goes off, it's over. Do you have a plan in place to deal with the unexpected issues that can crop up anywhere? However, pumping must be done first. Be prepared to seize earnings at any moment, even in the absence of financial advice. Understood. I will now conclude this video. Thank you for sticking around to watch. To all of you, I am eternally grateful. Please support me by subscribing to my channel. Until next time.